Hey everybody, welcome back to the Best Coin News channel on YouTube. I'm Sonofasilverstacker. In today's Numismatic News and Information for the 9th day of February 2024, I'm going to welcome you over to moneymetals.com so we can check out those live spot prices. Then we're going to bump over to the United States Mint and look at the bullion sales. And then we have a really interesting article how it costs the United States Mint more money to mint the penny and the Jefferson nickel. It's going to be incredible. You got to check this out. And it wouldn't surprise me if we're actually going to see those two coins, those two denominations, the 1 cent and the 5 cent, actually get taken out of circulation. So who knows? Maybe those pennies and those nickels that you got under your bed or in your basement or wherever, maybe you'll finally be able to melt those down and sell them for what their metal content is and not what the face value, because it's definitely worth more than the face value of the coins that they're struck on. Absolutely. Now, but before all that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to a bazillion subs. That way we can open up the Son of a Silver Stacker store. Yeah. And sell the Son of a Silver Stacker merchandise. Look at that. Can't believe this is going to be the 4th year now. Where does the time go? Now, over here to moneymetals.com. Looks like gold is down 245 to 2041.75. Silver up 8 pennies to 22.84. Platinum down 8.55 to 8.93.50. And palladium down 5.65 to 9.19.85. Could we see palladium actually drop and dip below $900? Why not, right? Might as well pronounce the L in salmon. All right, here we go. You're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.99, but you're going to get out of there for $29.83. Isn't that interesting? So you've got that. And then look at this. The sell to us price is $23.92. Now over here to the bullion sales at the United States Mint, and they're updated every weekday by 5 p.m. Eastern time. And would you look at there? We got some numbers for February. So we have 3,000 1-ounce gold eagles sold. And there you go, 2,000 10th-ounce gold eagles sold. And then they added those two up, the 5 and the 3. Well, the 3 and the 2, you get 5 right there. Look at this, though. Just under 1 million American Silver Eagles. We're at 850,000. And we are about a week into February, 9 days. All right, so that's pretty interesting. Now, this is probably going to be some of the biggest news. If this doesn't hit the nightly news or whatever, the mainstream legacy news, I don't know what's the deal, because they're not paying attention, because this is actually really big news, and it's going to bring up a lot more questions, all right, about the Lincoln cent and the Jefferson nickel future, because there's no way this is sustainable, not even close. And the trajectory, the graph, it's not pretty. And if this continues, like I said, it's not sustainable. This should be big news. In fact, here we go. In fact, this is the most expensive Lincoln cent has cost to produce since ever. Now, this is coinnews.net. This is by Mike Unser, dated February 9, 2024. That's today's date, right? Just came out today. All right, here we go. And there's the picture of the culprit right there. That's the Lincoln cent. Now, in its 2023 annual report, the United States Mint disclosed that the cost of manufacturing coins increased across all denominations. Well, we knew that, right? Because labor costs are getting outrageous and material costs are pretty high as well. And for the 18th straight year, the unit cost for both pennies and nickels was above their face value. See, this isn't sustainable. 18 years of this? I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out. That's why I believe that every single one of us, when we get new coins from 2024 or 2025, 2023, whatever year you're in, and you start to see new coins, take those home and weigh them on a scale and compare and contrast them to the zinc and cents and the regular Jefferson nickel. Just check it out. All right, here we go. The U.S. Mint struck over 10.5 billion coins for circulation during the fiscal year, down 12.1 billion coins in the prior one. Now, remember that, actually, okay? That's kind of a big deal, actually. We're actually down this year than we were the year prior, okay? But the year prior and the one before that, we were in a coin shortage, right? Coins weren't circulating in the system as they normally would, getting, through the whole, circulatory system of the banking system, I guess. All right, it says here, fiscal year 2023, circulating coin shipments to the Federal Reserve Bank decreased by 1.6 billion units. All right, that's 13.2% to a total of 10.5 billion coins compared to last year. There you go. The year saw a decrease in shipments of all denominations except the half dollar. What? Yeah, that's right. It's not an IFC anymore, really, is it? A trend is more 3 years. Well, we got 3 years of the $half in circulation, which resulted in decreased revenue and seigniorage compared to last year, the U.S. Mint's annual report said. So the annual report's out, and it's not good for the penny and the nickel. The U.S. Mint generates revenue from the sale of coins at face value when they are shipped to Federal Reserve banks for distribution into circulation. Now, this is the cost to make pennies and nickels. I imagine that's just a typo. Here we go. In fiscal year 2023, the U.S. Mint's toll to make and administer and distribute the 1 cent coin increased to 3.7 cents. That's up, all right? That's up from 2.72 cents, 12.9%, and the unit cost for the 5 cent coin rose to 11.54 cents, up from 10.41 cents. That's a 10.9% increase. Folks, not sustainable. And this is the trajectory. It's up and to the right, okay, over time and cost. Despite reduced production totals, and now here you go. This is the kicker right here. I think this is an astute observation. Despite reduced production totals leading to increased per unit costs, the U.S. Mint did experience a break in the prices of metals used in making coins throughout the year. Now, if you take that into consideration and the fact that their seigniorage was such a huge loss for this, it could have been much worse if these costs weren't mitigated like that. And there's also another factor. You got to remember that actual mintages, circulation mintages, are down, okay, especially for certain coins, like the Lincoln cent in particular. I'll show you here that. I'll show you that here in a second. It's really interesting. It really is. Now, it says here fiscal year 2023, average spot prices for nickel decreased 5.1%, all right, to 23,481.25 cents per ton. All right, that's probably metric ton, I would imagine. Average copper prices also decreased 8.5% to 8,437.44 cents per ton, and average zinc prices decreased 22%, all right, to 27,702. 2,772.07 cents per ton. Now, look at those. Those are pretty decent drops. 8.5, 22% there, 5% there. And that's for nickel. All right, that's for copper. And that's for zinc. That's what makes the zinc and cent, and that's what makes the Jefferson nickel. Now, it says here, Lincoln cents have a composition of 2.5% copper with a balance. That means the remaining, all right, weight is zinc. That's why I call it a zinc and cent. While 5-cent coins are minted with 25% nickel and the balance copper, dimes, quarters, and half dollars are each composed of 8.3% nickel with the remainder of copper. All right, now cost to make dimes, quarters, and half dollars, and the United States is definitely making seigniorage on the dimes, quarters, and half dollars. It's really the cents and the nickels. All right. Unlike cents and nickels, the U.S. Mint was profitable in minting dimes, quarters, and half dollars, as the cost of manufacturing and distributing them was lower than their face values. And it says here in fiscal year 2023, for the dime, 5.3 cents compared to 5.03 cents, only up marginally at 5.4%. For the quarter, it's 11 cents, all right, 11.63 cents, and it was 11 cents. That's up 4.7%. For the half dollar, check this out. This really struck me as like, what? Now, for the half dollar, it went to 25 cents, up from 17.5 cents. That's up 51.5%. That's remarkable, actually. Now, the following two tables summarize mint costs for the cent through half dollar in fiscal year 2021, 2022, and 2023. And here you go. All right, this is what's so remarkable. These two items, so the distribution to reserve banks, I didn't highlight that one over here on this side, and over here, because really it's pretty relatively the same all throughout. In fact, it's actually half as much as it was in 2022, where here, as you can see, you're looking at distribution to reserve banks and that half dollar. Look at that, 5 here. Last year was 0.014. And so on and so forth. So it was a little bit cheaper this year. And, you could say that, oh, yeah, that's, a tenth of a tenth or a hundredth of a hundredths place or a thousandths place. Well, when you're dealing with billions of coins, those thousandths of a place actually add up quite quickly. So it's kind of one of those amazing things about big, big numbers. They move so quickly. So here we go. Cost of goods sold. That's this one up top. Look at that. All right. 1 cent. All right. That's just the cost of goods. We're at 0.072. And just the cost of goods sold right there, I think that put us almost with last year's costs. And then sales, general, and administrative. That one actually, I believe, and I highlighted it, is to actually the one to blame, or the one we can say, well, that's the reason why it costs so much, is sales and general and administrative costs have gone through the roof. Look at that. We were at 26. We were at, I'm sorry, 0.0026. Here we are at 0.01 for the 5 cent. And look here, we're at 0.003, and then we're at 0.013 there. So those costs went up. Those costs associated went up as well as here for the dime and the quarter, as well as the $half. So this is remarkable, folks. And let's keep on keeping on. So I basically went over all these. Now here we go. In profit from seigniorage, this is where they make their money, right? The difference between the face value and cost of producing and distributing circulating coins. The dime realized, here we go, 125 million in fiscal year 2023, while the quarter brought in 304 million. So the Mint's job is to literally make money, and it's one of the only federal agencies that doesn't need any outside money to be funding their actions, all right? The U.S. Mint transfers seigniorage to the Treasury General Fund to help finance the national debt. Good luck with that. Relatively few $half were produced for circulation compared to other denominations, resulting in the U.S. Mint earning 4.3 million from them. That's not that much, right? $half, if you think about it. Look at that. 4.3 million, and they made quite a bit of them. In contrast, the cent and nickel have lost money since 2006. And I think this particular graph or chart, whatever you want to call it, this one speaks the most to me and should to you as well. Unit costs and seigniorage for cent and nickel from 2005 to 2023. And this was the most profitable year. In fact, it's the only one not in parentheses. It was the only year they didn't lose money out of all these dates right here was 2005. All right, look at the Lincoln cent cost back then. Yeah, exactly. Right? Look at 0.009, not 0.03. Where we're at today. And the second most expensive time was 2011. All right, look at this. The seigniorage went from a profit of 4 million, and then they lost 32 million, then they lost almost 100 million, then it went back down to 50 million, then it went back down even more to 20 million, then it went up in 2010, doubled, right? And then look at that. 2011 really rocked the house at 116. That's incredible. All right. Now you're looking at 2012, it went down, but not by much. It went down, about 7 or so. You're looking at 2012, and then it went down a little bit more. And then we had a greater drop at 14 there, another drop, and then we get to 2018, and it spikes for some reason. All right, and then it really spikes during the pandemic. All right, look at that, 144 million loss, 171 million. Look at this one, 178 million lost. And if you remember what I said, they've produced less of them. Okay, look at this right here. There's 4.136 billion cents. That's down 23% from the previous year. So imagine if that was actually higher by 23%, we probably close to 210 million. And that is just for the Lincoln cents. Because also an additional 2% here in nickels, that would also drive this particular cost up as well. We'd probably be at 211, 12, 13, 14 million on that instead of 178 that we're seeing now. So it would be much worse actually if the Mint didn't scale back their production for 2023. And maybe is that the reason why they did that? I don't know. But it's definitely a question that needs to be answered. Look at this, 18 million $half. Look at that, up 157.1% from the previous year. That is incredible. That's how much more. That's how many more they produced. Now, the 5 denominations together comprise 10.51 billion coins, marking a decrease of 1.6 billion or 13.2% from the 12.111 billion coins delivered in fiscal year 2022. Imagine those costs being that much higher and the Mint not being able to recoup those costs. Because check this out. This is how much money they made in seigniorage for the total of the year. So we got total here from coin shipments, value shipments, and gross costs, and then seigniorage. Look at this, 86 million and 92 million. That's that 178 that we saw here. That's what that is. And then they made money here in the dime, the quarter, and the $half, not so much. Yeah, not sure what's going on there. And then that brings their total to 249. Well, in 2022, they made 310. Then in 2021, they made 381. So it is definitely dropping. What's it going to be next year? 220, maybe 200? Not sure what they're going to be making on circulating coins, but how bad does it have to get before they actually stop it? That's the real question. And when they do stop it, will they tell us, or do we have to weigh our coins? Now, with that said, I think I'm going to go here real quick. I got no time. This is about fools. A stone is heavy and sand is a burden, but aggravation from a fool outweighs them both. Yep. And this is Walter Voodoo, Mexican Radio. Stacker out, everybody. Have a great day.